We are live on YouTube as well as recording we have started. So this is Ranjit Sahu. Welcome you all to this lively webinar on nutrition and menopause, the theme of the webinar. So hereupon Indian Menopause Society IMS Education Committee presents this webinar. I call upon the esteemed panelist for this webinar. The topic of the webinar is talk on read your label before you buy food, and there will be panel discussion on the practical tips on nutrition and menopause. With this, I hand over the session to Lasmi ma'am to take it forward. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ranjit. Thank you so much. So without wasting much time, let us start with our webinar on nutrition in menopause, as this is the menopause month. And Dr. Ambuja, our dynamic president of IMS, wanted the theme of this webinar to be nutrition in menopause. So what were her ideas behind choosing this topic? She will only tell. So without much ado, I would like to introduce our dynamic IMS president, Dr. Ambuja Madam. She is retired professor and HOD from Usmania Medical College, Hyderabad. She is All India President of Family Planning Association of India.
Lakshmi, both ho gaya. Thank you.
Naini, madam is a great academician with 3 publications to her credit, and we all were talking and acknowledging that under your dynamic leadership, madam, the Indian Menopause Society is rocking. So I invite you for your chief guest address and pearls of wisdom.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So nice of you for introducing so nice words, whether I deserve it or not. Thank you very much. And I always welcome Lakshmi's programs. They are really good, and maybe all Nagpur programs are good, like Vaidehi's. And she was doing for about more than a year. Oh, every week, wonderful programs. That Vaidehi, what is that? Raj Sai program. That really, it was very good. Maybe Nagpur is famous for that one. And I do remember Nagpur is a so good host. When we came to Nagpur for attending the long back, this was with Foxy conference was there. And that's, how was the welcome? With all oranges side by. Yeah, that was the really, we were so shocked. That time we were still very young. And for the first or second time appearing, going for any conference, wherever you go, all the oranges are there. And drums were full of orange juices. You can go and drink any time orange juice and come back. So that was the situation. I don't know, Vaidehi may not be knowing that, but I think Lakshmi, if you remember, that was the situation that time. See, you asked me why I selected the nutrition topic. One, it is such a vast topic. Any number of times you speak, it is not full. And we are creating awareness about the osteoporosis. Again, we'll talk about the diet. Obesity, we'll talk about the diet. And metabolic syndrome, we talk about the diet. And so many public awareness programs, I'll tell you, it is an unimaginable number of public awareness programs. With the Club 35, it was being done. I was thinking how they are going to conduct public awareness virtually. But hats off to our committee chairperson and committee members, how nicely they have conducted public awareness. Still, we are not following a proper diet, and obesity is increasing, and diabetes is increasing. I don't know where these things are going, you don't know. And during the corona time, when everything was closed, the roads were all empty. The first thing what opened, the minute they said we are relaxing, first thing was Mirchi Bhaji Bandi or Pani Puri. That's I'm full crowd there. Oh, forget about corona, what is happening. Whatever amount of awareness we are creating, still maybe it is not reaching the public. We only talking of ourselves and getting the things, and we are not going and eating outside. The minute when we go to the any restaurant and go and eat, next minute we'll have diarrhea because we don't have any immunity at all. Those people every day eat outside roadside and they are quite perfectly all right. Don't know really what is happening. Maybe that is the thing that has prevented so much of mortality in India, because mortality is very high. If you take America, where they follow so many regulations, and UK, it was very high, but India is the one which is saved. Of course, we have to congratulate Modi. He has taken very good steps, that's a different thing. But as far as the nutrition is concerned, not able to describe where we are. That's what is the situation that made me to ask the Lakshmi Shrikande through the education department again to conduct the same thing. And what you delivered your lecture, it was wonderful lecture. I thought again and again we will listen to that one. I still, all of you should think how best we can propagate this and make ordinary common man aware of this nutrition. That's what is the big thing. A solution should be sorted out for this. And thank you, Lakshmi, for giving the opportunity and obliging my words and conducting the nutrition program again. I don't know how many people will attend, because 10 programs are going on round. There are no listeners, but no problem. All of us will learn again.
Yeah. So
thank you very much.
my honor, madam, to means you advised, and nutrition is always needed. जितना बोला जाए उतना कम है उसके बारे में. And even if we don't have the virtual audience as of now, the recording is shared with everyone, so everyone knows कि we will get to know pre-recorded.
Yeah, that's right.
So we don't worry about the number of audience who have logged in now. But I am so happy that we are having this webinar totally dedicated to nutrition in menopause. So thank you, Ambuja madam, for your pearls of wisdom. I'd like to invite very humble, always approachable, the dynamic Secretary General of Indian Menopause Society, Dr. Sudha Sharma. She is honorary professor of IMA. She is holding many posts in so many organizations, and madam is a very, very keen academician, and she is very much interested in all the research works. She herself is editor-in-chief.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi.
Midlife Health.
Thank you so much.
Member of editorial board, and madam, your workshop by Jammu Menopause Society on research publications was too good.
Thank you so much.
Organizing secretary of the National IMSCON way back 2008 in Jammu, and she has got 70 publications, she has edited 3 books and 7 chapters. So madam, the floor is all yours for your pearls of wisdom.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi, for your kind introduction and such lovely words. So a very good evening, dear friends. I must always say IMS family and all those who have come from other societies and organizations. Today's chief guest, we always say dynamic, I would say friendly, and a true academician, Dr. Ambuja, and who is going to moderate today's important panel also. Dear Shobna, always says, don't call me Dr. Shobna. So Shobna is a long friend. Dr. Anuradha, I missed you and your hospitality. So, maybe sometimes later. Beautiful panelists. You look at them, they don't look, they are in menopause. Dr. Pushpa, Tripura Sundari, Dr. Anju, Vidya, Dr. Jyoti, Dr. Vedai. So first of all, a huge congratulations, Dr. Lakshmi, chairperson, IMS Education Committee, for doing, so regular activities consistently without fail. And the beauty is you involve each and everyone across the country. I would say that you make it a news, north, east, west, and south. And thanks, Dr. Ambuja, for choosing this topic. When we were discussing about this topic, and Dr. Ambuja said that I don't know, we have chosen this topic, but the thing which she suggested, and very rightly she said, that we have been discussing so much about nutrition at each and every platform, but how scientific discussion we have done. So it is very important. So today we are going to have some scientific discussion about this nutrition. And because we all know that during and around menopause, all of us, there is a tendency to put on weight. Whatever we have been eating, we can't eat that. There's a big no-no to what we have been eating. We all know that, because when age advances, the caloric requirement decreases 10% with every decade after 30 years. Your activity slows down, your thyroid gland slows down, then your basic metabolic rate slows down. So putting all this together, you really need to change your diet and your lifestyle. And when I read this topic, Dr. Lakshmi, your read your label before you buy, a wonderful caption you have given. So I just want to give one little example. There was this one child from our neighbor. So when he went to buy something, without realizing, he went back to the shopkeeper and he told him, "It's written here calorie free. Why didn't you not give me this calorie? It is coming free with this bottle." So that was like this. So when you go and buy things like this, but very nice topics, a very nice caption. We are all waiting to hear from all the experts, and Dr. Ambuja, I know how she can conduct the how she can moderate. So thank you so much for
क्या
inviting.
मॉडरेट करते जी, इतने एमिनेंट पीपल है इधर, वही मॉडरेट करने को रेडी है अभी, versus crosstalk.
We are all experts.
All are experts.
I can go ahead with my talk because
Yes, yes, yes. All the very
Dr.
best.
Anuradha here. So thank you so much, Dr. Sudha, for your pearls of wisdom. So here I am back again to introduce my esteemed chairpersons, Dr. Shobna Mohandas. She is the president-elect of Indian Menopause Society, vice president IMA Thrissur. She is president Mission Pink Health IMA Thrissur.
And stop, Lakshmi. That's
yeah,
okay.
madam, just 2 minutes, Shobna. She is academician. She has authored 2 textbooks in gynecology, contributed many chapters, and she is a national faculty and orator par excellence. So welcome, Shobna, for this webinar. Our another esteemed chairperson is Dr. Anuradha Khanna, who was organizing chairperson of this first of its kind physical IMSCON in after COVID pandemic, and it was a grand success. Anuradha, kudos to you and your team. And
thank you very much.
Ex-head of the Department of OBGY, BHU Varanasi, and you can see that she has been awarded with many awards, more than 120 publications to her credit. So I hand over the mic to both the chairpersons.
It's an honor to me to be a part of this prestigious webinar. And I'm thankful to Dr. Lakshmi to making the chairperson. And it's my honor to introduce her. Lakshmi, you are a great friend and great academician, a great person to me. I really love you. And you belong to Varanasi also. I know it. And you have
Oh,
got
my
the
Mamaji.
blessings of, yeah, that's you told me. So you have got a lot of blessings from
Yes,
Lord Shiva.
yes.
So it's so nice. And formal introduction I'm going to give you.
In 2
That is,
minutes.
she is chairperson elect ICOG and national corresponding editor, national corresponding secretary, and the patron of president of ISOPAV with Vidhara chapter and chairperson of IMS Education. We all know about her. President Association of Medical Women, Nagpur Ratan Award, received Bharat Excellence Award also, received Mehru Hansotia Award, everyone knows, received appreciation letter from Maharashtra government for her work in the field of Save the Girl Child. Senior Vice President, Foxy 2012. President Menopause Society, Nagpur 16 to 18. President Nagpur OBGY Society, 5 to 6. Delivered 11 orations and more than 450 guest lectures. She has published 30 national and 11 international publications. She has sensitized more than 2 lakhs boys and girls on adolescent health issue. A great job. Very well done, Dr. Lakshmi. So here we will like to listen you with your talk on the nutrition. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuradha. I know we all are friends. I think it's more than a decade we know each other. So thank you so much for your kind introduction and kind words. Friends, I am talking about read, understand before we buy any packed food. Let us look at the statistics. How many Indians they actually check the nutritional information when they are buying the packed food? When they are looking for a certain specific type, 43% they read the label. When they are buying the product for the first time, 40%. When they are on a diet and they are trying to lose weight and then they are weight conscious and buying a product, 22% will read the label. When they have leisurely time, just spending time in the grocery store, only 16%. Always reading the label, they are only 14%. And when they are buying certain special food for children, only 12% will read and 7% will never bother to read the label on the packet. But do you all know that every packed food has to be labeled in accordance to the packaging and labeling regulations as per the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India 2011? They had the rule, and as per the rule, the label, any label on the packed food has to have the following information: name of the product, weight of the product, the list of ingredients in order of weight in the package, artificial coloring, flavoring, and preservatives, percentage of daily value based on 2000 calories a day, symbol of indicating whether it's a veg or non-veg, nutritional information, name and complete address of the manufacturer or packer, code number, lot number, batch number, date of manufacturer or packing, best before date, instructions for use, allergy informations, and if that product is claiming any health or nutritional benefit, then that claim has to be there on the label. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, they came out with a revised version of their act on November 17, 2020. Till then, most of the packaged food companies, they were printing the nutritional details of their content, including the recommended daily values on the backside of the package. But this new law, this has mandated the packaged food companies to label high fat, sugar, and salt content in the front of the package itself. The food label will also declare per serve percentage contribution to RDA, that is recommended dietary allowance, on the front of the pack. So now let us come to the practical aspect of it. How to read food labels without being tricked by those companies. We all know consumers are more health conscious than ever. So some food manufacturers, they misleading tricks to convince people to buy highly processed and unhealthy products. And in this presentation, I am going to explain you how to read your food label so that you can differentiate between mislabeled and healthy foods. So first and foremost, that is name of the product. So the name of the food must be clearly stated and it should not be unclear or confusing. If the food has been processed in some way, the process has to be included in the title. For example, if you are buying apricots, if it is dried, it has to mention dried apricots. Peanuts, if they are salted, it has to be there in the name itself that it is a salted peanut, or bacon is smoked. The name must also describe the difference between apparently similar products. For example, fruit yogurt differentiates it from artificial fruit flavoring yogurt. So if you are very alert and conscious, if you only read the name of the product which you are buying carefully, you will know the type of product you are going to buy. Ranjit, please सबको mute करो. All packet food must carry the net quantity by weight or volume or number as the case may be. The net quantity of the commodity contained in the package must exclude the weight of the wrapper and the packaging materials. So what is the first thing you all should look at on a food label? When you are looking at the nutritional facts label, first take a look at the number of servings in that package, that is serving per container, and the serving size. Both are very important. Nutrition labels, they show how many calories and nutrients are in a single serving. But their serving sizes are frequently much smaller than what we people consume in one sitting. So you have to multiply the serving given on the back of by the number of servings you consume. So you can see that this is one label, for example, which shows that 17 servings per container, and the one it has shown that amount per serving is 110 calories. So now you have to multiply it by 17, that this is the total calorie in that particular product. Serving size, basically we all need in our household metric, but usually it is not there. They mention according to their convenience. So you have to see their cup size, and it also varies from product to product. If a food has less than 0.5 gram of saturated fat in the serving size on the label, the food maker can say it contains no saturated fat. Remember this if you eat more than one serving. So if the label is saying no saturated fat, but if it is containing 0.5 grams per serving, and if it is having 10 servings, then you are consuming that much of saturated fat. You should also pay attention to the trans fat on any food label. We all know that these fats are bad cholesterol and they lower your good cholesterol. These fats are mostly found in snack foods and desserts, and many fast food restaurants, they use trans fats for frying. If a food has these fats, the amount will be listed on the label under total fat. They are measured in grams. Look for foods that have no trans fats or are low in trans fats. Sodium is the main ingredient of salt. If a label says that a food has 100 milligram of sodium, this means that it has got about 250 milligram of salt. The percent daily value is also included on the label as a guide. The percentage of each item on the label is based on eating 2000 calories a day. Your goal will be different if you eat more or less than 2000 calories. So here are some pointers to help you read and interpret the information on food labels. 5 gram fat is equal to 1 teaspoon of fat. You can see that 1 teaspoon of butter. If a food says it has 30 gram fat per serving, that is equivalent to eating about 6 teaspoons of fat. 5 gram sugar is equal to 1 teaspoon of sugar. If a can of soft drink has 40 gram of sugar, that is like eating 8 teaspoons of sugar. So this is how you all should be able to calculate it, how much you are consuming. Next is study the ingredient list. Product ingredients are listed by quantity from highest to lowest amount. This means that the first ingredient is what the manufacturer used the most. A good rule of thumb is to scan the first 3 ingredients as they make up the largest part of what you are eating. If the first ingredients include refined grains or type of sugar or hydrogenated oils, you can assume that the product is unhealthy. Instead, try choosing items that have whole food listed as the first 3 ingredients. In addition, an ingredient list that is longer than 2 to 3 lines suggests that the product is highly processed. There are different names for sugar printed on various product labels, and the sugar goes by countless names, many of which you may not recognize. Food manufacturers use this to their advantage by purposely adding many different types of sugars to their products to hide the actual amount. To avoid accidentally consuming a lot of sugar, watch out for the following names of sugar in the ingredient list. The types of sugars are beet sugar, brown sugar, buttered sugar, cane sugar, castor sugar, coconut sugar, date sugar, golden sugar, invert sugar, muscovado sugar, organic raw sugar, and numbers are there. Then there are various types of syrup, carob syrup, golden syrup, high fructose syrup, honey, nectar, malt. So you should read it carefully. Other added sugars are barley malt, molasses, cane juice crystals, lactose, sweeteners. Many more names of sugar exist, but what I have quoted here are the most common types of sugars. If you see any of these in the top spots on the ingredient list or several kinds of these sugars throughout the list, then the product is definitely high in added sugar. Now, what about addition of food additive, colors and flavors? Food additives contained in the food product must be mentioned along with class titles, along with the specific names or recognized international numerical identification. Addition of coloric matter should be mentioned on the label along with certain statements like contains permitted natural colors just beneath the list of ingredients on the label. In case of addition of extraneous flavoring agent, then it should be mentioned in a statement like contains added flavor just beneath the list of ingredients on the label. So enlisting the names of artificial coloring, flavoring and preservative has to be mentioned. Sometimes they are mentioned by the code number, like preservative 211 in Maggi tomato ketchup, that is 211 means sodium benzoate. Foods that are known to cause allergies and intolerances may be listed in a box or highlighted to draw attention to their presence. Example, this product contains milk. Manufacturer will require packaged foods to provide the allergy information. Now, what about the date marks? There are two different date marks which appear on food labels. First one is use by. This is usually found in perishable foods like milk, meat, fish. These foods are not safe to eat after this date. The another kind of date mark is best before. This is found on a wide range of foods including fresh, frozen, dried, canned and other foods. Foods can be eaten after this date, but they may not be at their best quality in terms of taste, texture or appearance. All packed foods that is non-vegetarian must have a symbol that is the brown color filled circle inside a square with a brown outline. If a food contains only egg as a non-vegetarian ingredient, then the manufacturer may provide a declaration that the product contains only egg and will add the non-vegetarian symbol. The name and address of the manufacturer, packer or seller must be stated on the label. Consumers can then contact the manufacturer if they have a complaint about that product or if they wish to know more about it. In case that product is imported, the package must contain the name and complete address of the importer in India. A lot mark is a code which is required by law to appear on the label. It helps to identify batches of food in any event that they need to be recalled by the manufacturer, packer, or producer. A date mark is sometimes used as a lot mark, and lot marks may be indicated by the letter L. Many food labels, they have a barcode and number on them. This is not required by law, but barcodes are a quick and easy way of identifying items, especially at a supermarket checkouts, where the scanner can also identify other information such as the price. So barcodes are also used for stock control in shops and warehouses, but it is not a must by the law. Instructions on how to prepare and cook the food must be given on the label if it is needed. If the food has to be heated, the temperature of the oven and the cooking time has to be mentioned on the label. Example, instant soup mix, instant dhokla mix, and many other. Any special storage instructions or conditions should also be maintained on the label. On January 1, 2013, India joined a select band of countries where food containing genetically modified content must be labeled as such. The Legal Metrology Rules 2011 says every package containing the genetically modified food shall bear at the top of its principal display panel the letter GM, that is genetically modified. Do nutritional labels lie? Unfortunately, nutrition facts labels are not always factual. For starters, the law allows a pretty lax margin of error, that is up to 20%, for the stated value versus actual value of nutrients. So in reality, that means a 100-calorie pack could theoretically contain up to 120 calories and still not violating the law. In April 2019, FSSAI introduced strict regulations against false claims and misleading information. For example, soup packages that mentions being healthy or nutritious can't make this claim since they are high in sodium. We all know these two examples. Nestle is in the dock for 17-year-old complaint on flouting infant formula labeling laws, and Nestle has been charged by a trial court in Delhi for allegedly violating infant formula labeling laws, a charge they have definitely denied. And this is again, they had a problem with the labeling of their Maggi. What kind of claims are legal to make on food packaging? There are three categories of claims defined by statute and or FDA regulations that can be used on food and dietary supplement labels, and they are health claims, nutrient content claims, and structure or functional claims. It is important to note that health claim or nutrition claim or risk reduction claim made in the label will be thoroughly scrutinized by the FSSAI authorities. Hence, any such claim must be validated by test data. Health claim establish a relationship between a food and disease or medical condition. For example, claims like good for heart, good for growing children, etc. Nutritional claims quickly inform a consumer of nutritional value of a product. For example, low fat or zero cholesterol. So these are the common claim types which we come across on our food label: low calorie, low carb, low cholesterol, low fat, or this is all natural, or it is added calcium, high protein. So you have to be wary of buying such products, verify what exactly it means. General claims about benefits to overall good health, such as healthy or good for you, will only be allowed to be used if it is accompanied by an approved claim. This means they have an explanation of why the food is healthy. Labels are not allowed to claim that food can treat, prevent, or cure any disease of medical condition. So these sorts of claims can only be made of licensed medicines. Examples of health claims include calcium is important for normal growth and development of bones. Beta-glucans from oats help to reduce cholesterol. Xylitol in some sugar-free chewing gum helps to neutralize the plaque acids. What about the nutritional or functional claims? A nutrition claim describes what a food contains or does not contain, or contains in reduced or increased amounts. Like they can claim it is low in fat or high in fiber, or it is low in sugar, or it has got a zero trans fat. Understand the nutrient content claims. They are not always as they seem. A 0-calorie product can actually contain up to 4 calories per serving. A fat-free product can contain up to 0.5 grams of fat per serving. A low-fat product can have as much as 3 grams for solid products and 1.5 gram for liquid products. Don't assume that all foods displaying the word light are low in fat or calories. The term light or light on a food label may also means the food is light in fat, light in salt, light in color, or even light in taste. The characteristics which makes the food light must be stated on the label. So take a closer look to see what that light word actually means for that packaged food. Are there any exemptions to mandatory nutrition labeling? Yes. Fresh fruits and vegetables, raw meat, poultry, fish, seafood, alcoholic beverages, foods which are sold at roadside stands, craft shows, and fairs. So, thanks to the food labeling regulations, consumers can now make a wise decision and choice before buying processed food products off the shelf, and they can feel safe than sorry. Read the ingredients, what you are really getting, watch for sugar content and calories, look at the serving size and serving per container, look at the nutrients in detail. So actually, if we actually allow and see our foods which are displayed, honestly, then you can see on the left side, but we can't have, because the manufacturers and the packers, they have to sell their products. So we have different kinds of labeling which attract the consumers towards their products. So friends, we have to be alert and watchful, and we have to read the labels carefully before we buy any packed food. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. That was an exhaustive and informative and an eye-opening talk. And Dr. Jyotika said, it was really too informative. We only think of uterus and ovary and tubes and what all. And you opened a new world in front of us, that the food packing has to be looked at. We always say that midam shariram. So we forget to look at ourselves. We just go on treating other people, looking after other people. I think we should learn to look after ourselves, look at what food we eat. And you cannot go on cooking all food yourself, so you have to buy food from outside. And when you buy that, sometimes, we keep the bread in the fridge for a long, long time. Nobody likes to eat bread. And then if somebody is there to cook, the bread lies. And then you see that the bread is not supposed to be taken actually after 1 week after buying it, no? So, and there is so much to be looked at, trans fat acid content. So many gynecologists, they just die off like that. 2% increase in trans fatty acid content can increase 20% heart attack. And so you have said that at each and every snack, Lays ko le lo, uska wo niche jaake trans fatty acid content. Baap re, kaisa khayega baba? The way you have described everything now, I feel that I won't eat anything from outside.
We should carry a magnifying glass in our purse, because sometimes they are written in so small words that we also get fed up what to read. We always eat and we don't bother to read. But if magnifying glass, or we can take use of our mobile. That is there.
No, but the point is that so many people are taking so much efforts to do all these things on the packaging. We should spread this message, at least after listening to this lecture. At least when we go, people meet so many patients and they're all talking to us and they're sick and everything. At least some portion of this message will percolate down to our patients. Those patients will percolate it to their relatives, and that's how it spreads. And so it's important that we know that such things exist, so that we can percolate to out of 10, even one patient, if you tell them, that person will tell other relatives. And somehow like that, the message spreads thoda. Jidhar bhi there is path of least resistance, the water flows. So that way, if you go on spreading this message through one patient to relative to somewhere, I will tell my patient, I heard one gynecologist tell me like this, and then I will start. And then she will also think. So that way, that's the importance of webinars. And thank you so much. I don't know what to ask you, because everything was new. What more to ask?
That is why I gave that example of ghee and that shakkar, because we really don't know 5 gram means kitna. It is 1
teaspoon. Wants to say something. Yeah.
Means 6 teaspoons of sugar. Or
I always tell my patients, you take one chocolate and then you say that you're dieting. It doesn't make sense. One chocolate is equal to 6, what do you say? 6 handfuls of rice. So, and then you say you don't eat rice, but you will take that one chocolate, everything is gone. It's as good as taking a meal. So this is one standard thing that I always say. So Jyotika, you also wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want, Lakshmi, that was very nice, very informative. I wanted to ask you, quite often they write numbers, you know. They just write code numbers.
Yeah,
And
it is allowed by law.
this had come in the, they write code numbers, and this had come, you know, long back, that pig fat and all are there in foodstuffs, but when they write in a code form, none of us will know what those codes stand for. So how are we going to find out there?
We will have to take the help of Google. Google is there to tell us what this code stands for, because by law they are allowed to write in the code.
Dr. Lakshmi,
Then
after listening your talk, I think we should not purchase anything from outside.
No, it's not like that.
That is my insight, I'm telling you.
But madam said ki jaisa bread. So they're always right best before. So we have to use by, I mean, those dates you have to follow.
Yeah.
And your ingredients, and then you can buy. I mean, you should know what you are eating. That's all.
But you're scared.
This is
one more trick is they don't write trans fat.
Yeah.
They write hydrogenated fat. अब जिसको पता नहीं कि hydrogenated fat is trans fat, they'll be happy कि trans fat नहीं और खा लिए.
अरे किसको ट्रांस भी मालूम है इतने जागरूक लोगों को?
मालूम ही नहीं है.
अब शोभना सब पढ़ना है अपने को अभी.
आ गया. अब हम
And
लोग पढ़ेंगे,
especially-
बाकी लोगों को बोल के देंगे, फिर थोड़ा करके आगे जाएंगे.
आ जाता.
We will do something public awareness या कुछ करते हैं.
Yeah. I
Platform
think awareness programs are a
awareness
must for
programs
this.
we will do.
Start with our own patients. That is it.
Yes, we should start from our own patients and own family members.
Okay, then thank you, Lakshmi, and you can go on with your next session.
Yeah. So now I would like to hand over the floor to Dr. Ambuja Madam, who is the moderator for this panel on practical tips in nutrition in menopause. And Madam has been already introduced. Should I display the slides or you will be displaying, Ambuja Madam? Unmute. आप mute हो. Unmute.
Please display the slides, then only I'll be able to
Yeah,
introduce
okay.
them.
I will. I am the displayer of the slides today. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. And we are back from the trance of Lakshmi Srikande's lecture. We heard, and all of us came to the conclusion that बाहर से कुछ नहीं खाना, खुद ही बनाओ. ये हो सकता है क्या खुद ही बनाने को? We are so busy always. वो खुद ही कभी नहीं बना सकते पूरा. We are trying our level best. ये खुद ही बनाना बोले तो मालूम होता. See, any Friday evening or Saturday evening, if you are tired and if you don't want to cook at home and go to a hotel nearby, a little good hotel, if you go, the line, you will get the number as 40 or 80. And that time you wonder, अरे क्या है हमारे जैसे कितने लोग हैं कुछ भी घर में पकाते नहीं वो लोग, and at least we are working, and non-working people also, they will be in the queue. So that's what is the thing. Once upon a time, only very high people who are having a lot of money, they used to go to the hotels. Now forget about it. Weekend, everybody, they had to go to the hotels. अरे ब्यूटी पार्लर तो जाओ, उधर वो तीन चार घंटे उधर जाओ, फिर उधर से उधर टाइम नहीं मिलता, वो खाने को बाहर जाओ. That's what is the trend nowadays. And we have come back now with the puja holidays. And today's panel is on nutrition and practical tips. I'm very happy to introduce my panelists, who are all very eminent people, and so lucky that they are going to enrich us with the practical tips. You know, Pushpa Sati, she is director of Seth Hospital and she is vice president Indian Menopause Society. You know Pushpa. Pushpa is a flower. She's always smiling and I mean flower like. Always she is fresh. I have not seen her any time tired, even though her nursing home is 75 bedded, and she's always pleasant and smiling. She has got so many credentials. I think it's a waste of time. Whole time.
Yeah, I think we can leave it.
Yeah, Pushpa. Hello, you are there. Next is Tripura Sundari. She is, I don't know about the North Indians. They know what is Tripura Sundari. She is a goddess of Durga. She does so many things with 10 hands. That's what is her capability. And she works almost 27 hours in a day. And 3 more hours she will buy from somewhere and she will do it. That's what is Tripura. And she's very wanted teacher among the postgraduates. And she's a very good subject. And I haven't heard no from her mouth until now. I can say she's right and left hand to me. Dear Anju Soni, क्या बोलना तुम्हारे बारे में? She is जयपुर की रानी, very active, enthusiastic Secretary General elect, and she is replica of good nutrition. If anybody wants to project what a good nutrition is, show Anju Soni. Vidya, always smiling, and a good friend of mine, and Bijapur ki Bahu. And she has got a very good organizing capacity, that much I can tell. And she is a professor and HOD from the Almain Medical College, Bijapur. Dear Jyotika, do you need any introduction for you? Because everybody knows you. You are so famous with your quiz programs. Jyotika is known to me since 1977 onwards. Is it, Jyotika? I know what are her capabilities, how strong she is in her Jyoti, that's what is her name, in her ideas and diagnosis, everything. One example I'll tell you. I just joined immediately after my MD, and she was the final year exam going student. During the examination, that time we don't have an ultrasound or anything like that. She did a PV and said, yes, this is the ovarian tumor. And the examiner denied it and said, no, it is looking like a fibroid. But she did not agree for that. Otherwise, what happens? Many of the, if it were to be, I would have said, examiner ke saath kya panga lena, chalo yes bol do ho jata. But she did not agree for that one. She of course, passed with the flying colors. A laparotomy proved to be ovarian tumor. That's what is her acumen of diagnosis. Hats off to you, Jyotika. And more than anything, she is a very pleasant personality always. Vaidehi, hello to you. Ever smiling. And the first time after I took over as a president, Vaidehi, she herself called me and said to attend her program, Vaidehi Rajasi programs. I asked, what is this? She is the president and she is the secretary general. That's what is the combination. They had wonderful programs. I heard a program so good, so there. And somewhere attendance used to be about 500,000 and all. Hats off to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Vaidehi, it was so good.
Thank you, ma'am.
And with all my eminent panelists, today to talk about the nutrition is not an easy thing. Shall I share my slides?
Yes, please.
Because it's such a vast topic. Any amount you speak, it's going to be it's not going to be complete. All of us are back from Navratri. For us, it is the Dasharatri. Every day festival for Hindus, either Lakshmi Puja or Saraswati Puja or Durga Puja, something or other. What are we going to do? Fries with the ghee, acha khao, maja karo. That's what is the thing what we do it. And many mothers and wives insist their husband and children to eat well. अरे खाना खाओ आज ही बनाए मैं 1 month के बाद अगेन फेस्टिवल तो कभी नहीं आता only next year you are going to get it but you know all 365 days are festivals for us. I hate to see a starving festival that is either Krishna Ashtami or Sri Ramanavami. Even those things we'll do some of the special things and eat. But good thing of COVID is it made us to learn the word immunity. Good food habits, good immunity, washing the hands, so many good things it taught us. And now we realized how good it will be, ghar ka khana, how swadist it is. So, to start with the thing, for awareness of the nutrition is very, very important. Because of the good nutrition only, we are able to see all these stalwarts. They have so much of strength to fight with anybody in this world. Khana hai zaruri, but what, when, and how much, that's what is very, very important. When you are young, अरे कुछ भी खाओ वो चले जाता, हजम हो जाता. But what about the midlife? देखे को. So, whenever you come to the midlife or menopause, diet like clothes should be tailored to you. Accordingly, we have to do it. I will just start with one case scenario. This patient came to me, housewife, and she said she's putting on weight since 8 months. She said, I'm 55 kg and now I have put on and come to 60 kg. Eating as usual, but working less because बहु आई काम में हाथ बढ़ाती है. And what is the advice for me? How are you going to tell me what am I to eat and what not I should eat? So, Pushpa, we'll start from you. Do you think that menopausal women need special nutritional advice?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry if my voice won't carry. I'm down with a fever. If the menopausal women really need a nutritional advice, because just now Dr. Sudhai was listening to her, she said, "Ki as you age, every decade 10% of your calories should be cut off." So as you approach midlife, the type of food that you eat, the calorie dense foods that in normal young age you can eat and get away with it, should be avoided as far as possible. It should be healthy food. There should be sugars should be absolutely no. High protein diet, high calcium diet, and a diet according to your BMR.
So finally, what do you want to say is they need a special diet. So we should explain them. Can you tell what are the 2Bs that are important to explain them? She wanted to know what they are.
The basal metabolic rate and the basal metabolic rate and the
body mass index.
Yeah.
So this one will go up and one will come down. These two are very important, which is the simple method to confirm whether you are overweight or obese. So see, we should, that's BMI. What advice she wanted, no?
Yeah. So you will measure your BMI, which is weight in kilograms divided by height in meters square. And then you will see in which category you fall. Accordingly, you see whether you're obese, you're normal weight, or you're overweight.
See, the study is being done. According to WHO, what is the height and weight it is giving, the BMI is entirely different.
Yes.
About the Asian Indians, this is entirely different.
Actually, the fat content is more in the same weight person than as a Westerner or Indian. The fat content is more. So our BMI is less. So the normal weight is taken from 18.5 to 24.9 in a normal WHO guideline, but in an Asian it will be from to 23 to 22.9, 18.5 to
Yeah,
20.
yeah. That's what is very important to tell her, that if you take a other people and according to the WHO standards, if you go, what happens? We are getting more of in the postmenopausal years, more of heart problems, diabetes, and hypertension, all those things. It is because your BMI will be less. But what is more important is the waist circumference, which is more. That is the culprit. Usually, it is there. Most of the Indians, when they are not doing exercise, especially in the perimenopausal and postmenopausal women, their waist circumference is important to calculate. It's not 80 centimeters for Indian women. It is less than 72 centimeters, more than 72 centimeters. We take it as the obesity. At this point of time, do you like to comment how to measure the waist circumference? Because many people say you measure at the belly point or above or below, whatever it is.
Just below the breast crease, the most narrow area that you come across before the ischial spines, that is the area where you have to measure.
I think it is at the, because all this narrow area and all those things, we cannot say it will go up and down. Always to measure something, it should be a bony point. That's always is important. And you take the iliac crest. At the level of iliac crest, if you measure, it will be good. Is menopause per se responsible for weight gain? If so, how much weight gain during menopause?
I think somewhere between 4.5 to 7
kilograms. kg throughout the menopause. Yeah, it is good. And maybe so many reasons because of that is the estrogen deficiency is one of the reasons. And bahu aa jati, kaam karna kam kar dete. That's also another reason we don't work most of the times. And even working ladies, when we go to higher positions, we don't work. And bell bajao, kisi ko bulao, yahi hai kaam. So we don't do much work. That is the reason. Vaidehi, shall I ask you this question? How do you counsel this patient? You are the best person, conducted so many programs.
Ma'am, the sound was a little unclear. Can you repeat the question, please?
No, the same patient, she has come to you and she explained what are the things. How are you going to counsel her and say that your weight is more because you have put on 5 kg weight? How do you want to counsel the patient?
I'm not able to hear you well. I think my son connect. Can you just show the question? Then maybe I can answer. I can't hear you well.
Yeah. How do you counsel this patient? Because she came for the advice, no?
Vidayi, और make your camera हटा लो, फिर clear हो जाएगा. Internet issue होगा. Vidayi?
Yes, you close down your camera sometimes.
I did. So you want to know how will I counsel a patient who's menopausal and needs weight loss?
Yeah. This is, see, she has put on weight. So she has come to you for the counseling.
Yeah. So basically, when it is coming to maintaining healthy weight, we need to discuss dietary ways to reduce her BMI. Is that what you want me to answer?
Yes. No, she is a high risk patient for metabolic syndrome like diabetes and all this. And we should convince her saying that increasing the weight is not good and you should go for the...
Okay, so we need to emphasize the importance of maintaining her weight within the normal range, because we need to always inform her what health risks she's going to have, especially now that she is in the menopausal age group, that being obese and overweight will put her to increased risks of course, heart disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, gallstones. Because of obesity, it will affect her joints.
And many times, a little 2 kg weight also, they'll get tires.
Yes.
Tires of fat thing, and then the neck also, it will be there. So we should tell her what to do it. This is called a menopause. Usually they call it as a menopause.
Yes.
To keep the menopause at bay, what is the suggestion you want to give?
All right.
Because if you say you starve, don't do anything,
Yeah.
I think we too will not agree for that one.
Yes.
So how do you counsel her? How much to eat? How she can do it? Because she's a normal person. If you say kilograms, grams, she will not be able to understand.
Yes. So basically, we need to tell them that when it comes to weight loss, nutrition is the key. So it's so much about her diet, and of course, it is important to exercise, but nutrition plays a very, very important role. So we'll come to that a little later, that how she should reduce and how she should manage the dietary contents, but definitely eating a little less. So
Yeah.
how she should manage that, I think we can come to that later. Are we going to discuss the dietary ways a little later?
We can, but we can say it is not possible that you need to do a lot of dieting. At least every day, if you eat about 200 calories less, that is enough. You can control yourself.
Basically,
That much is.
they should look at their portion size. That is very important. If she's
Yeah.
having maybe
Very
whatever
good.
portion
The
she's
portion
used to,
should be
slowly
less.
portion should reduce. We also tell them small tips, like they can shift to smaller plates, smaller spoons. All those small tips also help when
Yeah,
they want to
that is
reduce
good. That
portion
is
size.
correct. Instead of eating with the hand, if they go for the spoons, definitely they are going to eat less.
Yes,
Vidya.
that makes a difference,
Yeah,
when
it
they
makes
take a,
difference, definitely.
yes. Also, they should
How do you
talk.
plan diet for this patient, Vidya?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ambuja, Dr. Lakshmi, for bringing such a nice discussion on nutrition in menopause. Here, this patient is weighing 60 kg and her BMI is 25. But I would like to know what about her physical activity. And I want to know about the calculation of her adult energy requirement. So how much is her basal metabolic rate and physical activity? So accordingly, I would put her in formula and then calculate how much calories really she needs. And if this one, I will calculate her BMI first. And if her weight is 60 kg and height is, you told something, how much it was?
I said BMI, I didn't
so
tell
it was
the height.
her BMI comes around
25.
24.97 something. So if BMI is 24/97 and she is a very heavy worker or sedentary activity, then I can plan her, means I will tell her that she has to maintain her weight and she has to maintain her activity and a little bit exercise. All the three and will maintain. And the estimated protein requirement is around 0.8 to 1 kg for adjusted ideal body weight. Fats should be around 20 to 25%, and carbohydrate requirements are 45 to 50%. Of course, these carbohydrates, what we take is they should be a complex carbohydrates and with the low glycemic index. So we have to determine and we have to divide her daily plates. And as you have shown about the food plate, we have to take 60% of the complex carbohydrate, 20% of the proteins, and 20% of the fats. So these should be divided into three major.
We should calculate per kg. It is about 30 kilocalories. We'll calculate. For this patient, of course, according to her activity level, we will take this. If we calculate, it comes to about 1,800.
1,800 calories. And these should be divided equally in three major meals and three snacks.
Yeah.
Accordingly, we have to tell her that she should be adequately hydrated and she has to do other activities also. Like she should not reduce her physical.
This is very important for us. We should keep it on our table whenever the patient comes.
We should
tell them, yes, this amount you should eat. Usually what happens, they are not doctors or scientific people. They are the lay public, as far as this is
we
concerned.
do like this in pregnancy plates. So like that, we have to tell in the menopausal woman also. This menopausal nutrition is not much discussed, but it is very important that the breakfast should have enough carbohydrates and enough proteins. And the protein should be equivalent to the carbohydrates. And in lunch and dinner should not be very heavy.
There is a saying, eat like a king, breakfast like a king, and lunch is like a prince.
Yes.
And dinner like a pauper, like a beggar. You should not eat much. Dinner must be, it should not be heavy. So this is how you will do it. And as Vaida he said, spoon, eating with a spoon is always good, because we are all used to eat with the hand. We take big lumps and then eat. If you take the spoons and if you use a smaller
I
spoon,
disagree with this because eating with the hand gives more satisfaction, and we can, and what this is,
increases the satiety level.
Yes, yes. So definitely
Yeah.
eating with hand is recommended. I said using a smaller spoon will
Yeah,
have to
it
increase
She
in
was
more
talking
number of
about the
times. That's
plate,
what I
small
meant, not to
plate.
discourage.
She was talking about the smaller plate, and that
you
can
know,
be filled with
when I
varieties.
went to Japan for the Asia conference, there they eat with the two sticks, and they used to dig like that. We are not able to even hold with the sticks, and they are eating like that. And afterwards, what we found out is they are all so thin and agile. How it is possible means because they eat with the they eat less.
Do
Because
you
they are
want to
using
say that the smaller spoons will have lesser amount to eat? No, that will not fill your stomach. They will eat fast. Yes.
okay, this is, the spoon business and weighing business and all is for the educated people. Anju, can you tell? How can you tell to the ordinary person? Because you are a specialist and your OP is so big, they don't understand. I seen last time when you had done a public forum, a ordinary woman has come and sat with you asking 100 questions. You tell, how are you going to explain them to each?
I explain them what, madam?
You want me to put the question again? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, little unclear. Your voice is little unclear.
How about others? Are you able to hear me, or is there any problem?
No, no, very clear.
Anju may be traveling still. See, Anju, educated people will be able to explain all these things, but uneducated person, if she comes, how are we going to explain?
Very important.
This slide I borrowed with Lakshmi Srikande. Thank you very much.
Madam, we have to tell her that, whenever we take any refined things like maida or, fructose, where basically every grain has three parts. An outer covering.
See, one thing is important we can tell, because so many tribals and all these people, they come, no, they don't listen to us. There's still plenty of fruits. Fruits, no restriction. Whatever is vegetable available in their place, they should eat. Don't tell that you eat pecan, this thing, that thing. No, whatever is the locally available one, you eat very much. And then grains, a fist of it, you should eat grains. And meat, a palm size, and cheese, very little pieces. And what about the fats and oils? Only like tumblet. So if you show, I think they will be able to understand. Or you explain them. If you take a coin, 1 rupee coin, how much portion you will eat this, how will eat this, something they should be able to understand. We had a ENT professor who used to tell Kabibi, oh, आधा रुपए में इतना खाए तो कैसा रहता, 50 पैसा में कितना खाए तो कैसा रहता. So he used to be a very good teacher. He used to explain a common man about all these things. And then tell them, instead of aloo, you use chana in your cooking. And as you said, don't use maida, and paneer, local made. And morning breakfast, fermented goods are good.
Basically, I tell them to go back to their olden rules. In our villages, there is a lot of buttermilk available, and we use lots of grain things like barley and jaw and all those things. So nowadays they don't want to have those jaw and barley things, and so we tell them that what your forefathers were eating, like rabdi. In Rajasthan, we have this rabdi thing, which is made with buttermilk and
Can they take lassi, Anju?
They have lot of buttermilk available.
Your
When they
voice is not audible, madam.
My voice is not audible. Is it
No,
better now?
very low volume.
Very low volume. 1 second.
See, buttermilk also, if they prepare with the skimmed milk, it will be good. We should explain them. Previously also they used to do in our houses with all the thing, they remove all the fat content and then remaining buttermilk, they used to use that one. I think we should explain them about this thing. And now for anybody you can tell, see, everybody nowadays, the availability of the non-stick utensils have become more. They will come and question you whether I can use a non-stick cookware. You'd like to answer, Tripura or Jyotika? Anybody? Can we use non-stick?
Whenever you use this, ma'am, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, Ajju. You are audible.
Yeah, so whenever you use these things, you have to always use low fire because that will retain its nutrient values. If you cook in a high fire, so the nutrient value will go away.
Yeah, it's good. And then that non-stick one, if it disappears, no, it is useless. So you clean it immediately and then you can use it. Otherwise, the non-stick one is not there. Don't use that one. And high flame, as you said, it should not be used. Shall we go to the second case? And I'm so many points our panelists told. Thank you all.
Ambuja, can I just make one point here?
Yeah, please, Jyotika.
See, for weight loss, what all dietitians advise is a tea plate. A tea plate is where vegetables are 50% of the plate and proteins and starch are 25 in the sense the divisions, quarter of the plate. But once you've lost weight, then when you want to maintain weight, then you have to use a Y-shaped plate, a Y plate.
Oh,
that is for
very good, very good.
And T is for loss. Then when we are advising the woman, we should tell her that her exercise should be 150 minutes of walking, moderate exercise throughout the week. 2 days she has to do strengthening exercises. That is very important.
It is very good, Jyotika. I didn't go into the details of it because we are talking about the nutrition. If we go into exercise, we'll be lost. That's why we didn't go into that one. But your plate business is really good. And Y plate and round plate, it is also very good. Actually, once I went to the
Tea plate and Y plate.
Women's Day conference, they called me to talk. Usually, whenever you go, they will, after the talk, they will serve you with some samosa or mirchi bhaji or something. To my surprise, in that, that was an all-women LSC health office. That was only one in the state. What they gave, they have cut the vegetables into very small pieces. One whole big plate full of it they are given. And they said, as many servings you want, you can eat. And to my surprise, everybody in that office working, they were all very thin and very fit, I can say. So I asked, what is the secret of it? They said, any birthday, any thing that's going on, they eat only fruits. They don't buy any of the like mirchi bhaji, samosa or anything like that. They don't buy. Yes, that's a very good thing. Which
one more point, Ambuja. The other thing is we have to classify food into 3, like the traffic signal type. Yellow, first is green, second is orange, third is red. So we have to know which food is green. The ones which are green, we can eat as much as we want. The orange one, be careful. And the red one, we definitely have to avoid.
I think we'll go in the next, this thing, we will discuss about that as the glycemic point when
I
it
think
comes.
that is a signaling system. That is a signaling.
Yeah, that's what is the signaling system. That's a very good point. And Mrs. X is a bank employee. Her BMI is 28. She said, I'm having strong family history of diabetes. My husband is already diabetic under control. We are using mainly rice and wheat because she is a South Indian that time. And dietary advice she wanted. Tripura, what do you want to tell?
Good evening, everybody. I thank Ambuja Madam for calling me for this panel, with beautiful panel. I feel all beautiful people answering so nicely. I thank Lakshmi for also including me in this today's meeting. Madam, we've been discussing greatly from all the time about the dieting. Our Indian diet and South Indian diet is the best. See, somebody in the America, they said you should always have 30% of protein, 70% carbohydrate. Our idli dosa pattern has got only 3 glasses of rice, 1 glass of urad dal. So that is the diet we have. So our thing is, when you are having a tendency to put on more of obesity and diabetes is there. Now everybody is talking about brown rice, black rice, green rice. But best thing is any rice you should reduce the quantity of carbohydrate. So if it is 3:1, usually say 40% carbohydrate, 30% is should be the protein, 30% fat. So you cut down those two things, increase the fat, decrease the fat and carbohydrates. You can make it 20% carbohydrate, then again 40% protein, because once you eat protein, there is a lot of satiety. You don't feel hungry. So if you take only aloo and rice, within half an hour you feel hungry. Even all of us also would have agreed. All of you agree with me that we eat idli and go, well, 11:30, 12 you feel hungry, whereas you eat roti and go till 1 o'clock you are there. So this slow digestion is a good one. So you should tell them that, as somebody said already, 3 snacks and 3 meals. So you should have more of this thing, toned milk without sugar. All white things should be avoided, like
So
sugar.
it is the thing you are going to tell, reduce the fats. Instead of having 2 spoons of oil for dosa, have half spoon, or you use
You
the
can have without oil and
yeah, that's what with the spray. Nowadays sprays are available. That is very good, and calorie wise also less. And do you like to tell about the glycemic index of the food this time, at this point of time? What is glycemic index?
Glycemic index is amount of it is absorbed into the body and how quickly the sugar levels grow up. This is different from glycemic intake. So your glycemic intake should be there, at the same time glycemic index should be low. For example, rice has got a good high glycemic index. That means if you get it, you eat it, gets easily absorbed. You should always have low glycemic index food, and you should have food which are slowly digested. Like say nowadays we are all busy with this ragi, the millets and all, which are slowly absorbed, so the sugar levels don't go up fast, and you use less of rice and less of oil, and you increase the exercise, at least half an hour exercise.
As already somebody told, the bread, I think Shobana told, bread and all, they are high, and especially
Yes,
white
yes.
bread, they have got very high glycemic index. Don't think that by eating bread for the breakfast, we are reducing
Multigrain bread, they say, but there
yeah,
will be lots of
multigrain
oil in
and
that.
bread and
So
all.
simple pulka is
Very
best.
good.
Simple
And
pulka, jawar roti, or you can have a
so can anybody
ragi
tell?
idli.
Yeah, glycemic index is how much of the glucose we will get it. So,
Ma'am,
Jyotika, you tell.
can I come in between?
Yeah.
Madam, can I speak?
Yes, please.
Anju.
Sure.
Yeah. See, whenever we take full grains, I mean, not processed grains like we have dalia or we have, whole grain atta.
I will, Anju, I have a question afterwards. I will tell you about the whole grain. We'll come back again. Okay. Yeah, you tell about the glycemic index. How can it be? Anju, you tell about this watermelon. Is it high or low?
It is high.
How much?
It is quite high because it has got plain simple sugars and of
But
course
still
lot of
we-
liquid. A lot of fluid, but glycemic index is very high. So if we feel people who diet should not be advised to take watermelon.
Yeah, but why do we eat watermelon so many times? But we don't put on weight. You see, to get that amount of calories, we need to eat a lot of watermelon.
Yes. So
That is why it doesn't matter for us.
See,
But
there
it's
is
so watery,
difference.
madam.
The
Even if
water
you eat,
content is
loss
very
also you
high
won't
in
that
water.
much of calories.
So
What
there-
about the apple? How much it is, the apple?
it is very low.
It also is good for dieting.
Yeah, it is low. Glycemic index is only 38.
Yeah, it is,
Pineapple, how much?
pineapple is on the higher side.
Higher side, higher side.
Yeah, it is 66. Broccoli,
It is very low.
Low.
it is the best king of the vegetables and fruits. This is only 50.
50.
And what about yogurt?
You got
Low.
Skimmed milk yogurt is good.
Skimmed, yeah, prepared from the skimmed milk. Yogurt is very good.
So when we're talking of glycemic index, Ambuja,
Yeah,
the thing is, it doesn't reflect the quantity of food you're eating.
that very good, very good. Yeah,
That's the reason
Glycemic
we are
load.
eating a watermelon. We are not eating the whole watermelon or half of it. We are eating maybe a few
a
pieces.
piece of it.
So that way, our though the glycemic index is on the higher side, the glycemic load is not that much. It is less than 10. That is how they say for glycemic load, low is 1 to 10,
Water
medium
content is
11
very
to
high.
19, and high is more than 20. So glycemic load is on the lower side, though the index is on the higher side.
Yeah, that's what. Glycemic load is also very, very important. You know, so many times we all will eat cooked food, keep it outside and then eat. How long cooked rice be stored at room temperature?
In our childhood, in our olden days, they say keep the rice sadhanam. That is, eat overnight cooked rice and eat it.
Yeah, and then add curds for that one
That
and
ganji,
keep
that is the
it.
water is very good. Now we used to laugh at them. Now we are coming back scientifically saying that is good. Even now they say you cook the food, keep it in fridge for at least overnight. Next day morning eat it is very good. It has got low glycemic.
Yeah, see, that's the temperature that spoils the food, not the
In Hyderabad,
as it is. In Hyderabad, you cannot keep not more than 2 to 3 hours to get good thing. You keep it in the fridge. Sometimes they say freezer, if you keep the rice, you can keep it for 1 month.
Oh my God.
Good for all of us. Yeah.
in Bangalore, it doesn't get spoiled.
Yeah.
Cooked rice for 1 month.
Yeah, cooked rice, you can freeze it for 1 month.
Riza, Vidya, I'll tell you one joke. Now, can I, Ambuja?
Yeah.
Yeah. One person.
Yeah, it is only discussion, man. All of you can tell. All of us, it's only we are mutual discussion.
One of my relatives had gone to States and that lady had made uppit for him.
Yeah.
That lady had made uppit to upma for him. So what happened is 6 months later, when he went to their house, she took out the same upma from the freezer and heated it and gave it to him again. And it was good. So in the freezer, you can keep things for as many, if at all.
Provided the current doesn't go, madam.
There should not be any breakdown of electricity. Otherwise, you can keep it.
The current should not go and it should be in the freezer.
Jyotika, can you tell why should we include fruits in our diet? You said glycemic index and glycemic level, so many things. No, why should we include fruits? They are so costly. Everybody, of course, except for banana, everything has become costly.
See, fruits have some important ingredients in them. One is vitamins. So fruits have a lot of vitamins in them. One. Second thing is fruits have potassium in them, which is also very important to lower our blood pressures. They also have sodium, but more fruits have potassium and they are lower in sodium. Then again, they have a lot of fiber, and this fiber is very important for our digestion. And most fruits are not complex carbohydrates. They are simple carbohydrates. So what happens is when you eat fruits, you tend to become hungry earlier. Like how you said, when you eat idli, you become hungry earlier. With fruits also, you cannot satiate with fruits. But it's very important that they have antioxidants, anti-inflammatory.
Immunity. It is good for immunity and reduces LDL levels. And so, especially for the postmenopausal women, eating fruit every day with every meal is very, very important. What is the nutrition key and healthiest vegetable?
Especially papaya, guava.
Yeah.
And
lychee.
All seasonal fruits.
All seasonal fruits.
Fruits are good.
Yeah.
See, the healthiest vegetable on the earth.
Cabbage.
Cabbage.
Broccoli also.
Broccoli, and they are all one group of people. Broccoli or
And
cabbage.
ladies' fingers. Ladies' fingers.
No, this is the best because it has got vitamins A, K, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, copper, and manganese. Everything is there in this. So broccoli and cabbage are the king vegetables of the king. But of course, when statistics was taken and asked for the statistics, everybody, and asked what is the king which they like it, many people, 70% said it is the potatoes they want.
No,
And 50% said brinjal. Out of all, they said it is brinjal, nothing else. So this is the statistics that is being done and they calculated. But as far as the international standards is concerned, a nutritious thing is this. Now, why the heat? Can you tell this? We are using mainly wheat. Which are the other grains we must use? Which rice we must use? And like we have so many rice, basmati rice, brown rice, boiled rice, quinoa rice, and it is a fashion nowadays because children in America, my children say, Amma, shall I send quinoa rice for you? I said, no, I don't want quinoa at all. And they say, Amazon, we'll transfer it through Amazon. What is it all about, Vaidehi? Is she there? Vaidehi is there?
She said
she had some
net issues.
She messaged that in the chat box. So can I answer this, Dr. Ambuja?
Yeah, you can answer.
See, whenever we talk of any grain,
that's what I said. Bubbling with enthusiasm is Anju.
No,
okay, Anju.
What I am saying that whenever we take a grain, the more raw form or more when we take it full, like in the form of dalia or maybe unpolished, it is the best thing. So even when we are taking wheat, we must not sieve it and take out the roughage part. That is very important. And it should not be made into very fine powder because that destroys the germ part. And that germ part of any grain is very, very important for your not only.
It can be finely grounded. There is no problem about it. But only thing is, don't sieve it and eat as it is. Don't buy it.
Even too much finely grounding destroys the germ part. And the germ part is very essential for protection of your all the systems, neurological system, immune systems, non-allergical parts. So it should be grind, but not too very, very fine. Number one.
Don't stick on to one type of grain, either rice or wheat. You change every day.
We should keep changing every day. Number one. And when we talk of rice, we should take a brown rice or red rice or even black rice because that has lots of minerals to it like iron, magnesium,
you know, they have found out this quinoa rice, they said so many ingredients are there. Indian also, this is the Rajgaro.
Rajgiri is basically
they call it.
Rajgiri, which we use in the vrat and all for fasting is also very, very healthy and rich.
This one they said it's almost equal to the quinoa rice. We don't need to run for quinoa rice. If we use this Rajgiri, it is equally very
and even ragi, nanchini, all these millets, jawar, jaw, they are very, very healthy rice. And in Rajasthan we use it during the winter time. It's used in a lot, and it's very, very healthy.
I agree with Anju and
one point. All these millets, if you want to use, they are good, but better they are soaked for an hour or two before we use it, so that the germ part is well absorbed and we get real.
Very good suggestion, Tripura. Soaking is a very, very important thing. Yes, take home message.
We can replace so much of rice with that. We can make pongal with dal and your millets. And you can make dosa with the dal and millets. So you can avoid rice in so many ways. But again, it is not that you made millet dosa and eat 5-6. Here also again you have to make it only.
Amount of eating also is very, very important.
I just want to add one thing. When we talk of making dosa in Italy, it it is very, very beneficial for your gut, because when you do fermentation, that is very easy for
Yes,
your gut
yes,
to be
yes.
digested. And all fermented foods, maybe a
Gut flora.
dosa or idli.
You don't get B12 deficiency, and immunity will be increased by the
Yes.
fermentation.
Well
Fermentation is
maintained.
very, very important thing.
Yeah.
And I am at home also making dosa from, quinoa, and even sprouted. I'm making dosas, and even any dal I'm making dosa with.
Yeah, that's
And
what moong dal dosa,
yeah. So
pesarettu, all
you
these
eat
things,
very less quantity, and you are not taking any wheat part, and it is very good for losing weight. And when you ferment it, it is very good for your, for your gut, and it becomes very light on your gut, and it fills you also, and you are taking the
anything
whole
which is
part away.
unprocessed is very good.
Yes,
Even
Don't
you can
take
replace your
Buckwheat is a
pesaretto,
very
madam.
good,
any white rice
In your
or
pesaretto also, you can replace rice with oats. That will give crispy dosa again.
Jyotika, you want to tell something?
No. I was just talking about these only. In India, we also have parboiled rice. Apart from all these different colored rices, we also have parboiled rice eaten mostly in Mangalore and in Kerala. Now, parboiled rice is it is partially steamed before it is sold. So it has, except the bran outside, it has the endoderm as well as the germ. So parboiled rice is very good for health, and more people should use parboiled rice.
Yeah. Of course, Pushpa, already Anju answered this question. Will you be able to tell what we mean by whole grain products? What are their advantages, and how this refined flour is done? What is the how it is prepared, and what are the disadvantages?
Yeah. So when you
Whole grain has three.
No, let Pushpa tell. This is her question.
any grain that is milled or जब उसको पीसते हैं, so when you mill it so fine that all its qualities are destroyed, the bran part is destroyed, the germ part is destroyed, so all its nutrient value is gone, plus all the fiber is gone. So basically, it becomes very, it raises your.
Finally left is maida. That is why maida is very bad.
It gives you very high sugar spikes, and though it is more tasty to eat, but it gives you high sugar spikes. So for diabetic people, it is really bad, because it takes out all the nutrients, plus it becomes very easily digestible. And so it gives very uneven sugar spikes to the person.
Yeah, this contains riboflavin, pantothenic acid, niacin. That is, the micronutrients are very much in that whole grains. That is why we have to use those things instead of the refined one.
One grain we haven't talked about is buckwheat. Buckwheat is very commonly used in North India during Navratras, and that's a very good whole grain to have.
Yeah, even when we buy bread, as Tripura said, we should buy the multigrain bread, not the.
Yeah, multigrain is a myth, because in multigrain breads, what they are using,
There is
they are
nothing.
using only 2
I
to 3% of whole grain. So it's more of a marketing strategy than this.
And
but you should eat
more of a maida.
Read the label before you eat. Read the label before you eat. Then you buy what it is.
But
Thank
so,
you,
nowadays little expensive, but this sourdough bread, which is available again, is because of fermentation, becomes very healthy, and it has got very good, very less glycemic index, and it is very good for you.
This is podo bread. Sourdough bread. Okay, that's very good. Cool. Yeah, this is one more take home.
But you should use the taste.
No, it's very
taste
tasty.
is a little different from our bread.
No,
it is taste, is it? I never tasted.
No, it's very tasty. I like the bread.
Yeah. Huh?
Next time you're going to
the brown bread you get is mostly with color. It's never a whole wheat bread, actually.
Yeah, we know now what are the disadvantages of it. We'll go for the next case. When one of my lady, really she was beautiful, and her husband was IAS officer. And when she came for checkup, she was looking very sick, and no muscle mass, and she was like that. I asked, what happened? She read Femina, it seems, and fat is very bad. So she said, I stopped fat completely. That is how I have become very fit. That's what is it. Do you say that nobody is there? No, Vaidehi is there. Vidya Tabhi.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm
Yeah.
very much there.
Fats
So
are so
always
bad,
we
Vidya.
we must we always tell that 20% of our diet should contain fats, and these dietary fats, some fats are really good. Means they are essential fats, and they should have they include our cooking oil, everything. Means, but uh, one should also have in the menopausal age the low fat diets. So
Lakshmi Shekhande, whenever time is over, if you caution me,
yeah.
5-10 minutes before
They
you
say
tell me.
that if you are fish eaters, the fish you should include, and nut derived oils like avocado, then almonds.
Yeah, avocado, these things are very
They are
good.
very
Yeah.
good fats.
Yeah.
We should
But
have.
And you know, all of us know that it
Yeah.
is very protective.
Omega-3 fatty acids.
Important organs, wherever the ureter is
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
bladder is there. No, it is a protective effect is there. So don't think that fats you should not use, and you should. There was an ad. I don't know.
There
All
is.
of you have seen or
And
not.
even they say this omega-3 fatty acids,
Yeah.
they reduce the growth of a plaque. In even the American Heart Association, they tell that you should have enough omega-3 fatty acids in our diet.
Correct.
We need their
There was an ad. I don't know whether all of you have seen or not. One lady goes to the five-star hotel and she orders for pizza, and she said, "Don't put oil, don't put maida, don't put this, only cabbage." She says,
tomato sauce.
Finally, after 10-15 minutes, that fellow brings cabbage leaves without anything. And she says, "No salt, no oil, nothing." And he brings only cabbage leaves. Like that,
And Ambuja madam, I must say one more thing I want to add, that we were talking about the trans fatty acids, and
Yeah.
we were asking to see the labels. So they are more dangerous than the saturated fats,
That's
because
right.
they increase that bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and decrease the HDL cholesterol. So you have to avoid this trans fatty acids.
Anything you are telling about the trans fat, this fat, that fat, oil, GL, anything special about storing the oils, how we should store?
Oil should not be stored outside. In fact, dietitians advise us to buy oils in small quantities. That's one thing. Second, to get it from the Ghana. Better to get oil than refined oil, because when they prepare refined oil in large quantities and store them in depots, the temperature there is very high. And when we buy them from the shop, already, free radicals would have been collected in the
Yeah.
So that is the one reason.
Oxygen-free radicals will be there. That's even more dangerous.
Yeah, you must store them in the refrigerator according to one
diet. And especially people like us, we don't cook, and we employ servants for cooking. Cook will be at home, and we'll buy tins and tins of oils.
It is not correct.
Correct.
And because we don't have time to go and buy again, the things will be there, and they use however much oil they want. Actually, it is the 2 to 3 spoons of oil per person. It should be only 500 ml of oil per month. I don't know. We use kgs and kgs of oil every.
And you must keep changing the oil, not use the
and change. See, not more than 2 days we should keep outside. It should be refrigerated and store in a dark glass container. Don't use any other container. That's very important. And sunlight degrades the oil. Light, oxygen, and heat, oxidation and rancid will happen. And plastic containers, toxins get into the oil. Iron and copper utensils, the chemical reaction will be present. And reactive oxygen species is the one which spoils and reduces the immunity. I think this regarding the oils, we should know so many things are very, very important points.
And you must not fry oil and use it again.
Yeah.
Because it will break down fats and free radicals are released.
Again, Vaidehi is not there, so anybody can
I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
This coconut oil. Then they say that this coconut oil is there, no, that is very rich in medium chain triglycerides. And many of the Keralites they are using, and nowadays there are evidences and that has come up that it can be used for the helping the people to lose the abdominal fat, deposition of fat.
What type of diet
Studies
is this?
can share, but they say that coconut oil is good for health. So 1 spoon of coconut oil, that to non-processed, that Jyotik was telling that it should not be refined.
Virgin coconut oil.
Virgin. Cold
Yeah,
pressed.
virgin.
Virgin cold
coconut
pressed.
oil.
Virgin coconut oil.
Cold pressed. Cold pressed.
But I'll tell you that practically, books may tell so many things. My husband used this virgin coconut oil for 2 months continuously because of that type of dieting is there, not to reduce the fat and all that. Keto diet.
Keto diet.
So after 2 months, I insisted that you should go for the liver function tests and the estimation of LDL and thing. You know, triglycerides and cholesterol has increased so much. It has gone to the levels of
because of coconut oil.
Because of the coconut oil, we stopped it.
So it must be because of keto diet also.
No other keto diet except taking the. You see, as Vidya Tabri said, satiety level also should be there. No, you can't go on taking the keto diet. Only coconut oil made like this. So,
ma'am, what I feel is that whenever you make food, like
so already Jyotika said about the choice of cooking oil and how do you
we
select.
have to change frequently.
Yeah, you have to change it.
Mustard oil, groundnut oil, or even ghee is advised along with.
Yeah, this is canola, corn, olive oil, peanut, safflower, soya bean, sunflower. Every month change it. Don't use the same oil. That is very good. But always it is better. In front of my house, there is a shop where if you go and give the seeds, they will take out the oil and they will give.
So nice.
But they will keep, that shop is there. I feel very happy to see that. The only thing is we don't have time to go every month and get it. So we'll be the tin and keep it in the house for the cook to use it. That's what is.
Next year when you're not president, you can do it.
Yeah. Wrong thing. What we are doing.
See, even then they're refining. No,
which is the best oil anybody if they can afford use it.
For me, olive oil. But you cannot use it for
coconut oil and gingerly oil, madam.
Use it for
I think mustard oil. Mustard oil.
This is the, I mean, each, see, Bengalis,
I
they
think it
use
is a
mustard
groundnut
oil.
oil. Peanut oil.
And sesame oil, all these things are there. But they say it
Gingerly
is
oil
good.
and coconut
Which
oil
oil is good?
Olive oil, virgin olive oil is the best.
Dr. Ambuja, you have not mentioned mustard oil. I feel mustard oil is one of the very healthy oils.
Yeah, somewhere I didn't.
use kar sakte na wo.
Because all of you are answering, no, just like that I am showing. Otherwise, you know, mustard oil, if you go to Bengal, they use mustard oil, sesame oil. In coastal areas, what we use, and then fill oil.
Oils, I know.
They are all there. So this, I think we should know what is fat and what is oil.
Yeah. Oil is fat, which is liquid at room temperature, and fat is fat, which is solid at room temperature.
Yes.
That is something which we need to know.
See, that's what always we use ghee. Fond of ghee, but that's not a good thing to use the ghee. They are all saturated fats.
Exactly.
And previously we used to get palm oil in tins.
But madam, in limited quantity, cows ghee is very good.
Yeah, I think
anything is good in limited quantity.
Yes, that's very important.
If we have to stop it there only, which we don't do it. And everyday festivals when we are doing, where are we going to stop it? That's the main problem with the.
You know one thing, Ambuja. Now there is something called air fried.
Yeah, of course. Now air fry is available.
Let us use air fry in our foods. I haven't bought it, but I intend to, so that whatever you feel like eating, which is actually fried, you can use it
make
as air fried.
samosas in that, very good samosas.
Yeah. Jyotika, I think you didn't try air fry, eating food from the air fry. You know, the tongue is the one which we have to taste. Taste buds, no, air fried fries are not so tasty as the oil fries. Many a times.
Maybe you'll have to compromise somewhere, Ambuja.
Yeah, I know. We have to compromise. Otherwise, how do you think that I have put on 12 or 15 kg weight?
It's all about the taste buds, actually.
You have to cut short somewhere, and you can't satisfy your tongue always. That also is there. But air fry is very good. You don't need to use any. But you know, our people, what they do is they'll apply some oil and then they fry it there also.
That is a jugaad.
Now we'll come to the water trans fats. Tripura, you want to tell?
She's there.
I think Anju madam would be very happy.
Anju? Yeah, she's, I am telling you, she's very, very, she came so prepared.
All the things trans fat should be avoided best.
Yeah, they are not good for your arteries and they should be avoided.
Because this margarine and all
more than anything, you don't fry again and again. That's what is very, very important. Once the oil has gone to the boiling point and has cooled down, that is the reactive oxygen species and oxidants will be released. So it becomes toxic. That is the main thing what we should tell everybody. Don't use the oil because oil is left what usually we do keep it and next day for Vagardi, the oil will be used. So don't do it.
But in the market, they use the same again and again and again.
That is why, don't eat outside.
No, nothing from outside. And for trans fats, the manufacturers, they write hydrogenated fat.
Hydrogen, that's another one.
You know that it is trans fat. So whenever you read that it is
actually fat, this is the hydrogenated only. That's why they call it trans fat. Trans fat is for a common person. And hydrogenated, we will understand because we being doctors, will know what it is. But these are all the things, don't eat trans fats. They are not good.
Basically, we should all avoid bakery goods completely.
Yeah, avoid
completely. For our children, because it contains refined flour maida, it contains trans fat or margarine. So no way it is good for us.
And somebody was telling coconut oil, it is good, but it is a saturated fat. You should be very careful. That's what I said. When cholesterol levels are being done, they are all increased. So vegetable sources about the coconut oil, butter, palm oil, they are all saturated fats, better to avoid.
Even ghee has 50% saturated fat.
Yes.
Ghee has. Yes.
And these polyunsaturated fats are very good. You don't need to go for avocado only every time. We have our own Indian foods. That is the soya bean, corns. Every time it is so easily available, corns and rice bran. We should use these things only.
Keep changing.
And sesame oil, more than anything, is the sesame oil. But what I advise you is, whatever oil you use, it should be limited. But sesame oil, usually use it for the avocado or the pickles.
Pickles.
How it will be pickle? 1 inch above the level of the pickles for the storage, we use it. Whatever oil you use, it is not good. Limited amount we have to use. Sesame oil may be good for health, but oil is oil. It has got 1 gram is 9 calories, so it should be very careful. Just because it is pickle, you can't pour so much of oil and eat every day that pickle with the salt and all. That you should be very careful. This, one patient, she came, many of us, we do get it like that. They come, they don't come and tell what is the problem for them. They'll come and show the reports because everywhere Vijay Diagnostic announces, for 1,000 rupees, we'll do 9,000 tests. That's what they announce. And if it was 7,000 rupees, now we have reduced it to 1,000 rupees. Everybody will run and get it done. Whether it is necessary or not, they will do so many tests. They come and show us that all the deficiencies are there. But she says, I don't want any supplements. Is it possible through the diet? Can I take all in one tablet? That's another one. She says, I don't want.
She doesn't want supplements and she takes it in one tablet.
She wants, if at all, if you give it in one tablet. Can we do it?
There are so many B complex
so many deficiencies.
have everything. Have all of them in just.
So at this point of time,
multivitamin tablets.
I don't want to go into details of so many vitamins, minerals. Only two things, if at all anybody can explain. Tripura, you want to tell something about the calcium?
Calcium is one thing which actually is needed right from a childhood to the adulthood, and calcium is to be given actually in dividers. Usually they say 1 gram calcium, they say 1 times a big one. It's very difficult to swallow, and that's not actually advised. It's better given, actually one of the books was saying given 4 doses, 250
It is not for swallow purpose. For absorption also, it should be in a smaller dose. And
so
divided
100 milligrams twice daily is good. Along with that, we need the zinc, we need B12 also for it to be get absorbed. Along vitamin C also is needed. So nowadays we're getting all combinations of calcium with B12, vitamin C. Tablets are rare, but best is to have milk, glass of toned milk in the morning, one toned milk in the evening, with fruit juices, and walking is.
As a patient like this, do you want to tell every patient will ask, you have to take is it in the morning, night, or when should I take? This is the usual question they ask. Calcium when should be taken? Iron when should be taken?
Iron should be taken on empty stomach.
It's better taken in morning along with breakfast.
Dr. Tripura, I would differ for you because I feel that we should take full fruit than taking fruit juices.
Yeah, I also
because
only
because whenever you
no
make a juice, it
fiber will be there. So take careful.
We are less audible, madam. Jyotika, madam.
Yeah.
Less audible.
Yeah,
we should have.
We are not able to listen to you.
We should have only fruits, not juices. I tell all my patients, you eat the fruit, you have fiber, you will pass easy motion, but no juices at all.
And vitamin E also is very important, and C still important. And folic acid, don't think that only pregnant people should take folic acid. Folic acid is very essential.
They say that folic acid relieves the hot flashes also.
Not only hot flashes, this dementia and all,
Dementia, yes.
Yeah, that is very important. Hair fall, dementia, all these things, and for the muscle strength. Folic acid is essential.
And brain fog.
You should prescribe folic acid in the menopausal age group also. That's very essential. They have tested and they have done scientific studies said the forgetfulness has decreased because of the folic acid. Minimal amount of the folic acid is required. We should give. And then calcium, so many forms of calcium is there. Which calcium do you prefer? Because you say calcium citrate, maleate, calcium carbonate, these things.
Can I answer?
How do you decide? Yeah.
See, we have calcium carbonate, which is the commonest salt, which is normally taken by everybody. Then we have calcium citrate. Let us not bother about the other calcium salts. Now, calcium carbonate requires gastric acid, HCl, for its absorption. That is why you take it after food. But calcium citrate does not require gastric acid. So it can be taken at any time of the day. One advantage of calcium citrate is that we can tell the patient, normally we tell her, don't take it with iron. You have to separate it. You take calcium in the morning and you take iron in the evening on an empty stomach. But for calcium citrate, she can take it anytime with iron, with anything. It doesn't interfere with the absorption. As we grow older, since we're talking of menopause, as we grow older, the hydrochloric acid secretion in the stomach comes down. So when we prescribe calcium for our menopausal patients, kindly prescribe only citrate and not carbonate, because carbonate depends totally on gastric HCl for its absorption. So the amount of carbonate you give may not get completely absorbed. So kindly give citrate. I think
one more thing, Jyotika.
Yeah.
Many a times when you are prescribing calcium, the labeling says 1000 milligrams. Don't go by that one. You see how much of the elemental calcium it has got. That's more important when you are prescribing the thing. Of course, as I said, calcium citrate is the best, especially for the postmenopausal people prescribed with it. And then, as far as the calcium is concerned, whatever is said and done, absorption and all, better to give calcium separate than mixing with so many all the haldi paldi and so many things are there. They will mix with vitamin K, vitamin D,
But
iron.
vitamin D should be supplemented, otherwise the
Yes,
absorption of
No,
calcium is
you take
dependent on
separate.
vitamin D.
You take separate. See, the
Separate.
calcium absorption is good when you take separate. And as the age goes on, the stomach acid comes down. Whatever you take, the absorption is very less. That's why don't mix with any other thing. Take it separately after food. That is a very good advice we should give. Otherwise, they'll go on taking for months together. But again, the report comes as the deficiency.
The other thing, Ambuja,
Yeah.
when we are thinking about dietary source of calcium,
Yeah.
Yes.
1 glass of milk, whether it is skim milk, full milk, whatever type of milk,
125.
about 200 to 300 grams of calcium. Now, a bowl of curds gives you about 300 grams of calcium. So if we tell the patient that if she drinks milk morning and evening, she will at least get about 500 grams of calcium. And if she has a bowl of curd, that is more than enough. She would have finished off everything with the dietary calcium.
We should tell, eat radish or drumsticks. They are very good.
Drumsticks are very good.
Moringa leaves also
very good calcium.
Red chola is also very good. And
Red
methi is also very good.
chole is also good. And then horse gram, rajma, ragi.
Fenugreek,
ragi.
And I was surprised to see oranges. Earlier, I never knew that oranges had, but once we had one panel with Jyotika only. So that time I realized that orange also contains some amount of.
But orange is not so much compared to the milk. And buffalo milk or buffalo curds, it has got maximum number. So they can as well drink milk 2 times a day. If anybody wants to avoid taking the milk or completely diet.
Buffalo milk is very fattening.
No, skimmed milk. Buffalo milk also you will get skimmed milk.
Vidya, in the orange, calcium is in the fiber.
And almonds, what happens if you take direct almonds, it is not good. As Tripura said, you soak it overnight and then take next day. It has got a very good effect for everything. The nuts has got everything, but only thing is soak it and take it for the next day along with the skin. Don't take out the skin. Shall we go ahead for the next
Recently, we
case?
read an article. They said you can eat up to 20 to 25 almonds. Oh, they said 2, 3. It's not even for diabetics. 20 to 25 soaked almonds. They can do it.
Tripura, almonds are so costly. Is there any alternative? Because how many of our patients can afford? Even
one handful only, madam. It's not that costly.
Peanuts.
For a snack, you can take.
No, this dosa ginjalu, that's also very good. What do they call in India? I don't know.
Which one?
Dosa ginjalu.
All that actually get mixed now nowadays we are available.
Jyotika, dosa ginjalu antar nodadu.
I'm not able to understand what dosa ginjalu are.
If you can show the picture, we will know.
Yeah.
What it is.
Karbuja.
Yes,
yeah.
Good.
They are all the seeds which has got a lot of nutritive value.
Seeds, madam.
Groundnuts also.
Yeah, it is very good.
Poor man almonds.
Pushpa, do you like to tell about the vitamin D, Pushpa? I think you wrote a paper also on vitamin D.
Yeah, ironically, vitamin D in India, despite all the sunshine that we have, I mean, so many women are deficient because we do not actually take in the sun rays normally like Westerners do. So normally we are covered, we don't like to go out in the sun, so many issues, and we use a sunscreen. We are taught by dermatologists that we should always use a sunscreen. And even in the car.
Finally, is it good or bad? Should we use sunscreen or not?
Definitely good for the skin, for the face skin. Because anyway, it's about the face. It's about 30% of your body should get 30 minutes of sun rays between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Only then, it becomes fruitful. So only by the face, you do not get that ample amount. plus the vitamin D is present in certain foods that we normally
Kindly mute everybody.
It's very good, but all of us know how to take the vitamin D. I'm not going to details because prescribing every day and night. So don't need to worry about the prescription. All of us know. Only two things finally I would like to ask: how to reduce the salt and how to reduce the sugar.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Is
about
there any way?
Very difficult question, madam.
Is there any way that we will do it?
No, can I answer, madam?
Yeah.
Can I answer
Sugar
this?
and oil.
Every
When you talk
day
of salt,
Yeah.
when you reduce the salt, the best thing is you avoid all pickles, all namkeens,
Avoid the pickles.
white pickles
And papads.
papad chutneys. Papad chutneys. Don't add salt to the food.
No, fresh chutney you can use it, not the stored one. Not the stored one.
The pickles have the highest amount of salt.
That always I will tell. This raw tamarind, with raw tamarind we do chutney, no? If you keep it for about 1 month, all the when salt will be accumulated over that one. So you don't use the pickles or the stored chutneys. Raw chutneys
are okay.
Fresh one you can use
But
it.
not pickles. You can replace your salt with this Saindhalavan, that is the rock salt what you have. To some extent that will be useful.
That also has.
It also has.
And second thing is many people who atta pieces for the chapati, they add little oil and little salt for the taste.
Yeah.
Please avoid that. That itself costs a lot.
No eating ready-made.
In raitas, buttermilk. Basically, avoid raw salt in any form. In
Yeah.
raitas, buttermilk, in anything wherever you are using raw salt has to be avoided. Salads also.
You know, last year when we were doing yoga program, as Ratnabali was one of the person who chose, no? So Hyderabad was one of the center where they called us and we went and did all the yoga programs there, and we released one CD also. I think Tripura Sundari knows. There for the morning itself event, we went for breakfast. They served us the breakfast. I couldn't eat even a single piece. They gave buttermilk without salt, and for the breakfast, this moong dal, soaked moong dal.
Khichdi.
No khichdi, nothing. There is no salt, no nothing. Just they gave us to eat. Oh, Bob, I did not eat anything. And
College of Naturopathy, madam.
Sattvic
College of Naturopathy.
Sattvic food. And I went and saw one assistant additional director of that Manovikas hospital that is there. There, you know, she was only about 35 to 40 kg. Maybe she's eating this only every day. That is how she was.
No, see, when we are buying no salad dressings, no soup.
Yeah, that's good.
All these things have very high quantity of salt.
Yeah, daily requirements of the salt is only 5 grams.
5 grams, 1 teaspoon. That's all.
And don't keep extra salt or ghee on the table.
Yes.
Otherwise, we will go on adding. And as you said, Jyotika, salad dressings and all, you read down.
Biscuits, bagels,
I just want to add
everything.
I just want to add, ma'am.
Yeah.
Whenever you add salt while cooking, the salt becomes more salty. So don't try and put salt properly in your vegetable while cooking. Don't add salt later. Then it is not.
That's correct. That's correct. One, don't add salt later.
Yeah.
Put it in the don't put the either salt or sugar also the same. Don't add it later.
Cooking vegetables, if you put a little salt, the vegetables get cooked faster.
Yeah.
And they taste better. They taste better also because you have put the salt initially.
Yes. That is important.
So, shall we go? Successfully finished. I am really thankful to all the panelists who participated
salt should
be enthusiastically. So finally, everybody I ask one take-home message from your side. Each of you one. Shall we start from Jyotika?
fine. I would say don't eat the white things. Whenever you see anything white, don't eat it. That is salt, sugar, maida. Don't eat any of these. And then, if you avoid that much, I'm sure it will be fine. Of course, exercise and everything else, lifestyle, LSMs have to be done.
One sentence I asked Jyotika,
That's all.
not one big paragraph.
I finished.
Yeah. Second, shall I do it myself? Eat when you are hungry only. Don't go on eating. Don't munch.
Correct.
Madam.
Can I speak, ma'am?
Yeah.
Let Pushpa finish.
Dr. Ambuja, can I add?
Pushpa is going to tell.
Eat only 2 meals in a day. We do not need 3 meals. We eat breakfast because it's breakfast time, lunch because it's lunch time, dinner we don't need. 2 meals are more than enough.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, remaining you fill it up with the vegetables and the fruits.
Yeah.
So, Vidya Tabi.
Yeah, one should avoid mindless eating. So usually in the menopause, there is a emptiness syndrome, so you should have a regular meal habits, one thing, and eating while watching television.
Good. That's a good thing.
One should avoid.
Yeah, Anju, your turn.
Yeah, I just want to say that don't starve yourself. Eat everything in moderation and eat healthy. Don't eat, don't do
Eat
diet,
fresh.
eat healthy. Eat fresh and healthy. That is the message I want to give.
Means homemade food. Homemade food.
Yeah, what I am trying to say that, people diet and then they hog on food and they gain weight. So eat everything in moderation and maybe you can have a cheat day once a month type, so that you are not starved. Eat in moderation, eat fresh, homemade cook. That is the best thing.
So Tripura, final word from you.
One thing has been observed, madam, mostly in most of the South Asian countries, they have the dinner before 7. And I went to China, they have seen after 7, if you, in case you miss your dinner, you are gone. The whole night they won't eat anything. So that is a good habit, because what they keep on eating everything, sleep, the stomach keeps on working whole nights getting tired. So try to have your light dinner before 7. And if you want, you can have a little walking and a glass of milk, sugarless milk around 10 o'clock. You have good sleep and good health, and you'll be healthy.
Tripura, very good point, because many of us, if we will finish the clinic, come home at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, our meal will be there. Most of the times we do like that. We know very well that we should not eat, but feeling hungry, we do eat. And especially some of the vices I've seen, they are in the habit of eating fried food after meals. Murku.
Madam, this
keep it. Without that, the food is not complete.
Field, they have a habit. No. They are the IT field people have got a habit of going out at 11 o'clock, having street food at 11:30, 12, coming home at 1 o'clock. Very detrimental. They should not do that.
So finally, telling is sleep early, get up early. Don't go for pubs. That is why the rate of going to pubs is increased. Smoking, drinking also has increased. And to have a better life, you should have a nutritious food, and lifestyle modification is very, very essential. I thank all the panelists for such a wonderful program. Whether somebody has watched it or not, I don't know. We all enjoyed talking about the nutrition.
Madam, I am thankful to you.
Learned a lot.
Dr. Lakshmi, I could not speak earlier. My network was low. So I am thankful to both of you for including me in this beautiful webinar. We gained so much from this discussion. I think more than anybody. We ourselves gained a lot from this.
That's right. We ourselves gained a lot of knowledge.
From all the panelists, I thank Dr. Ambuja.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi, for having me here.
रुको अभी वेबिनार बाकी है सुधा मैडम का कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए सुधा मैडम आ जाओ आप
सुधा मैडम है क्या अभी देखो
हाँ है अरे वो हमेशा ही
मैडम कहीं नहीं
मैडम
and finally to Lakshmi for giving the opportunity on behalf of all my panelists and myself. Thank you very much, and we enjoyed the thing. Any doubts from anybody now?
just
नहीं, अभी सुधा मैडम का होने के बाद बोलेंगे. सुधा मैडम आप बोलो. हाँ.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Ambuja. First of all, Dr. Lakshmi, thinking of it, Dr. Ambuja choosing such a wonderful topic, and all the panelists for giving their best inputs. Whether people have heard it or not, I am sure many of them they have heard, but it has been so very informative, so very informative. What should you eat? When should you eat? How much should you eat? And when you buy, go to market, how to select your food and how to read it and how to have the best of it. I just want to say one thing. When you are fasting, fasting means a real fasting. So do real fast. I will give you one example. We have, one of my sister-in-law is Iranian. So Iranian, how they fast. It is like the Muslims, how do they fast? So when she used to come here, my mother-in-law would say, oh, she would always call us girls, Kudiyo, ladkiyo, tomorrow you have fast, so eat today well. So when there was fast, right in the morning, she would start saying, eat well, you have fast today. So now to eat the meat.
Yeah, I know.
Once we were finished with the fast, she would say, yesterday you had fast. So why you not eating well? So that female, she said, is it fast here or is it feast here? So when you talk of fast, you have a feast over here. So please don't do like that. If you are fasting, you do a real fast. Then I think everything has been covered, but fermented food, I would want to add idli and dokla. They said that they enhance the nutrient content of the diet, especially those which contain a cereal and pulses mixed. So fermented food also is best for, all of in this age group. Then boron. Boron is believed to be estrogen enhancer, so which is usually found in grapes. So these, some of the foods, they have more of estrogens in them. So what are the estrogen containing food?
Yeah, phytoestrogens.
Yeah, they are soya beans, they are oats, they are barley, they are wheat, they are sonf, they are dates, cherries, egg, peas, potatoes. So most of them, they have.
I didn't put it, Sudha, because, I was thinking Lakshmi will never call me again if I stay half an hour. If I more extend it, she will say, Madam ko bulaya to itna hi hota, no ko bulao bolke. What, Lakshmi?
No. You have really covered each and everything and making it so interesting. And we have all, come to know what are the foods which we have to avoid: fatty meat, fried food, sugar and refined carbo. No, anything which is white flour, white bread, rice, pastries, sodas, sweets, coffee, tea, chocolate, alcohol, everything put together. We should know what to eat and when not to eat and how much to eat. But dear friends, diet alone cannot help to alleviate the symptoms of menopause unless you combine this with regular exercise, social interaction, mental occupation, and of course, medical therapy when and whenever and wherever it is needed. So thank you so much for a wonderful program. Very, very nice program. 3 cheers for all of you.
Ambuja madam, I was really wondering ki what you are going to moderate. Your topic is practical tips on nutrition in menopause. So I was really wondering, but you have done a great job. You have really given practical tips. As Dr. Sudha madam has mentioned, and it was very, very useful. I myself learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Lakshmi,
So
mine is nothing. All my panelists are so excellent. They only gave all the inputs.
मजा आ गया.
They're so good, I will tell you.
And
it is a pleasure for me to interact with you all.
Madam, Dr. Ambuja, you were asking about calcium. So it is written in books that calcium, if taken during night time, is best absorbed.
It also has a slightly sedative effect. So milk रात में पीना बोलते, because milk has calcium in it and there is a little bit of
tryptophan. It contains tryptophan.
We didn't go into the details, but you know that always, the chakka, what they call it as, they put the chakka into the milk while sleeping. it has got a sedative effect, especially for the menopausal women. Cinnamon, that is the cinnamon.
Dalchini.
No, not dalchini. Cinnamon is a piece of cinnamon.
Lychee.
No, cinnamon, but
Cinnamon is dalchini.
Dalchini.
Yeah, dalchini. We call it as chekka in Telugu. That you put a piece, and it is a good sedative effect. And take with a glass of milk. So
and cinnamon
powder.
Cinnamon powder also is available. You can make a powder at home. That's not a problem at all.
And cinnamon has anti-cholesterol effect also.
Anti-cholesterol. That's a very good thing.
To reduce weight. But
actually, all the spices are very good. All the spices are very good.
अंबुजा मैडम सिनेमन का डोज बता दो क्योंकि अभी सब डालने वाले हैं दूध में
थोड़ा सा पाउडर डालना है लक्ष्मी
सिनेमन का ऐसा डोज वो तो ऑल माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स
चुटकी भर कितना
माइक्रोग्राम्स में करते सो यू डोंट वेई ऑल दोस थिंग्स हम तो पाउडर बना के ये स्मॉल स्पून रखते उसके वास्ते नॉट अ बिग स्पून 1/8 of the spoon we'll add it, that's all.
And even flaxseed ka powder
cinnamon daily will bring down the menopause symptoms also. 1 inch of
hot flashes also comes
chew
down.
It daily, that will bring down your menopause symptoms also.
I'm taking it every day from a long time.
Wow.
That's why you're not having any menopausal symptoms. You're still growing, glowing, even though you're menopausal. So Jyotika is the example. So all of you say cinnamon powder, secret of Jyotika. I was also wondering, Jyotika, how you are so, very active at this time. Never, I saw you telling that you are tired. Maybe because of this cinnamon only. So please use cinnamon every day.
Ambuja, it's not just cinnamon. My whole family is like that. My sisters, older than me, younger than me, all of them work 20 hours out of 24 and they never say they're tired. So something in the genes, that's all.
For healthy aging and reversal of aging, we'll go back again, I'm telling. 25% is only genetic and 75% is the epigenetics. So the epigenetics, what you are taking food and all is working for you.
अभी देखो सब घर जाके जल्दी खाना खाओ.
Yes. Yeah. I just life to बनाओ और खाओ. Thank you all the chairpersons, esteemed panelists, IMS president, secretary madam, and all the esteemed delegates and team Walter Bushnell for their technical support. Thank you all. घर जाओ, खाना बनाओ और खाओ.
Thank you.
Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you all for giving an opportunity. It was a very enlightening talk.
Yeah.
रंजीत ग्रुप में डाल देना, सब कुछ शेयर कर देंगे हम लोग.
और ना सोच सब
ग्रुप में डाल दो यूट्यूब का लिंक. हाँ चलो,
बाय बाय एवरीबॉडी.
Bye bye everybody.
Bye.